Correct. In order to create the React app in Node environment, what are the things we require? Can you tell? First one, we have to create a project, right?
Yes.
By using npm init. Correct?
Yeah.
Later, what else we require? We require the Webpack, right? Webpack, why you require Webpack? We want to convert
Transform
our
files into modules.
files into modules.
No, that's loaders. That's,
And also server we want, right?
yes.
Server to start or run our application. And next, what else we require?
Output.
Sorry?
Plugin.
Okay. Babel we require, right?
Babel. Yeah.
Since we want to convert our JSX code into React elements, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next, if we take Webpack, and what we have to do, we have to explicitly specify all the loaders, right?
Yes.
Unless and until if we won't specify all the loaders, we won't be able to convert all files into modules or all assets into modules. Correct? So next, suppose if we are going to use any SAS or less files, right? These files also we want to convert them into CSS, right? Yeah. So these are the main things in order to create the React app in Node environment. Okay, so is it difficult or easy task for us to create? Yeah, it is easy, but it is a time consuming, right?
Yes.
So what React team has given, right? They have given one Node package executor. Okay, so Node package executor. Okay, by executing the create React app, right? By using the Node package executor called create React app, by using this, we can create a React app boilerplate code. React app boilerplate code we can create. Okay, what is this boilerplate code contains? It contains all the configurations that are we require. Here we also add React and React DOM, right? Libraries. So now we will see how we are going to create our React application by using this Node package executor called create React app. So to run this Node package executor, we have to use one command called npx. Okay, by default, this command is not available into our Node environment. I mean to say, after installing the Node, we won't be able to get the npx command. So in order to get npx, we can use or we can install npm install -g and npx. Okay, so this command will be installed. After that, we can run npx create react app hello world. Okay, so far any doubts?
No.
No, yeah. So now we'll try to create one React app. So in which folder we are going to create? Okay, I will create in this React.js folder. I'll mention cmd. So it will open npx. Okay, I have already installed the npx-version. Okay, if you try in your machine, you won't get the npx. It will say unknown command or unknown command. So what you have to do, you have to install globally by using npm install -g npx. Okay, so now I'm trying to run npx create react app hello world. So what it is going to do, it is going to create one folder called hello world. You're seeing it. Create a new React app in this folder hello world. Okay, this might take a couple of minutes. It installing React, React DOM and React scripts. Meanwhile, I will try to open this folder into our Visual Studio Code. Okay, still it is going. It takes, I think, 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so it creates the project. So, and it is saying something. Inside the directory, you can run several commands. What is the first one? npm start to start the development server. npm run build. It bundles the app into static files for production. npm test in order to test our test cases. It npm run eject removes this tool and copies build dependencies configuration files into the app directory. If you do this, you can't go back. Now we are going to go to the folder called cd hello world. Now we have to run npm start. Okay, so it is starting the application. Okay, meanwhile we will go through the what are the things that are came from React template, right? Okay, so dependencies. What are the dependencies we got? Testing library in order to test our application, right? Application code.
Yeah.
Okay, in order to write the any test cases, we can use these testing libraries. Okay, next we have React, React DOM, and React scripts, right?
Yes.
And also Web Vitals. I'm not sure what is the use of this Web Vitals. Okay. So next, it also contains the scripts start. I don't want to run this. Okay, start, build, test, eject. So, and also it contains the ESLint config, and also it contains the browsers list. What are the browsers that it is going to support? And it is saying last one, Chrome version, which means the latest version along with the previous version. And in the same way for Firefox and Safari. Okay, so here are you able to see the Webpack? No, right?
No.
And Webpack and DOM, Babel also we are not able to see, right?
Which one?
Babel.
Babel. Yeah, Babel we can.
Yeah. So all these things are into the project called React Scripts project. Okay, if you see, if I open React Scripts set, okay, yeah. You are seeing React Scripts is one library they have given in order to run the React scripts. So if you see here, inside of this, do you find any dependencies?
Yeah.
We have Webpack, Babel, right? ESLint, and Jest, Webpack where we are seeing. You are seeing right Webpack and Webpack dev server they have. Correct? Okay. And also you can see the scripts, right? Whenever we are trying to run npm run start, what it is happening? It is trying to run react scripts dot start, right?
Yes.
Now if we open this one, you can see under scripts you have start.js. Correct? This is going to run whenever we are going to run npm start. Okay, so now if you see here, so it is taking as a process.env, which means environment variables. By configuring this environments, we can set whether it is a production or development environment. By default, it is taking the environment as a development. Okay, clear it?
Yes.
So, and all this is Node.js code. So, and it is similar to the our JavaScript code only. And also, if you see here, default port, correct?
Yeah.
What is the default port you are seeing? Parcent process.env.port. If we won't specify this environment variable called port, right? Then it
Yeah.
will take 3000 as a default port. Okay, and it is trying to run the dev server by using that port number. So, and also to tell them. You can see the loaders also it installed automatically. File loader, post CSS loader, all those things. Correct? You can see the style loader, correct? SAS loader and URL loader. These are the some of the loaders it installed by default for us. So we have a brand, we can say brand new project. Whenever we want to create, we can run npx create React app. Correct? So now it is time to see what we got it whenever we are trying to run our application, right? So what we are getting? We are getting one image, right?
Yeah.
And one background color, some black or some color, right? Gray color,
Yeah.
right? Not black. Okay, so light black we can say. And if you want to do any changes, it is saying open or edit src app.js and save to reload. And also it has one hyperlink, right? This one.
Yeah.
If I click on it, it is going to reactjs.org.
Okay.
Okay, now we are trying to create or edit this. Otherwise, first we have to try to understand the files whatever we will get from our base template. Okay, so first you can see under src you have app.css. What is this CSS? It contains some styles to your application, right? So next, app.js. Okay, what is this app.js? It is saying function app, correct? Under that it creates one div, right? Under div they have one header tag. Inside that you have image, and inside that you have paragraph and hyperlink. Correct. Next we have to see the index.js. Okay, here you can see React DOM. They have imported it. Import CSS they have imported, and app component they have imported. They are rendering app component by using React DOM.render app component, and inside that what they have done, where they are trying to render to the document dot get element by id root, right? Yeah. So inside of our public index.html you have one div id tag, right? Div id is equal to root. So whatever the code that you have written by using React, all the code will render to this div or this root DOM element. Okay, that we can see here by inspecting the page. You can see under div id root you will have all the code whatever we have written by using React, right? All code will comes to this div id root element.
Okay.
Any doubts?
No.
No, right? So okay, good. So now it is time to go for creating our own components. Okay, so we already discussed about the components. Okay, so component based development is the today's popular way of building the user interfaces or web applications, correct?
Yes.
It's a popular way. Next, all modern frameworks are component based, correct?
Yeah.
What are those component based frameworks we have? React, Angular, and Vue.js, and also you have Next.js. These are the some of the libraries that are popular to have the component based frameworks. Okay, so now what is React components, right? Okay. We can say a component is an independent, reusable code block which divides the UI into smaller pieces. Correct?
Yes.
You can say independent, reusable
Code block.
code block. Okay. We don't want to write really thousands of lines of code together in one single file. Correct? If we are going to write all the code in one single file, what will happen? It is difficult to understand the code, and the maintenance of the code gets more and more complex, right, as the project is growing bigger. Dividing the source code into components helps us a lot, right? Each component has its own JavaScript and CSS code. Correct? Each component has its own JS code and CSS code. These are reusable, right? Whenever I want to use this component, I can use them. Correct? We can say it is easier to read or understand. Easier to read or understand, easier to write, and easier to test as well, right? Okay. So now we saw some description about the what is the components. Now, how many ways we can create the React components? Correct? React has two types of components. What are those? First one, class-based components. Second one, functional-based components. Okay, in React, we can create the components in two ways. What are those? Class-based and functional-based components. Okay, so nowadays, most of the projects are creating or using the functional-based components. Okay, so why do we need to learn class-based components, right? So maybe if you have or need to work on any legacy project, so that time you may require to know the class-based components as well, right? So in our course, we are trying to cover both the components. I mean to say class-based as well as functional-based components. Correct? First we will see the class-based components. So now, class components are the ECMAScript 6 classes. Okay, in this we can include constructors, lifecycle methods, and render function, and state management. We can include constructors, lifecycle methods, and render function, and also we can do state management. Okay, we are going to cover all these things in our later sessions. I mean to say constructor, lifecycle methods, and state management. Anyway, we are going to see the render method now. Okay. So what are the things that we have to consider while creating the React component, a React class-based component? Okay, the class must be extend with the component. Okay, I mean to say React dot component. Okay, the class must extend with React dot component. Right, so, and also it should overwrite the render method in order to render UI from this component. So what is the main purpose of any component? What is the main purpose of any component? To render UI, right? Yeah. If you don't have, or if you don't want to render any UI, don't write any component code, right? The main purpose of component is to render some UI block of code in order to show in the UI. Correct? Now I am trying to create one component, and in that I want to render a h1 tag with hello world. Okay, now how we are going to do it? Go to src folder. Here, just click on new file. What is our file? Hello world dot JS. Are you following? Now,
Yes.
what we can do? Class hello world, right? Extends React dot component. So what we have to do? We have to import React from React, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the meaning of this? Is it a default export, or from React library, is it a default export or is it a normal export?
Named export.
Named export.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a default or named export? Default export, right? Since
Default is there, right?
correct.
If
Default means we are not using any braces,
default,
right?
Yeah.
While importing, correct?
Yeah.
So if you try to see, Okay, somewhere we can see that exports. Otherwise I'll search it. Okay, somewhere they have done this one. Okay, somewhere they have exported as a default. That's why we are able to download this, correct? Or import this React. So now what is our next step? What we want to do? We want to render
UI.
any UI, right? I want to render a UI call. We have to return this, correct? Which one? H1 hello world. Correct? Now I want to view this hello world component in the UI, correct?
Yes.
So in order to use other modules, what we have to do? We have to export this component, correct?
Yes.
Now inside of our app.js, I will remove all this stuff, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so I want to use this hello world component inside of my app component. How we can do it? By using component name. Correct? Like this we can use it. So in JSX, if we are using any React component as a tag, so we can specify it in Angular brackets and component name. Okay, JSX will treat every component as a React element, and also we make sure that create the component names starts with the capital letter. Okay, so in case of the HTML tags, it assumes that all HTML tags start with the smaller case. So we have to maintain all the React components in the form of or starts with capital letter. Okay, now how we are going to access our component? By using the component name, correct? Hello world. Right, so what we have to do? We have to import this component, right? How we can do import hello world from /hello world. Now if we are going to see our UI, you saw the hello world.
Yes.
Any doubts?
Yes.
No, right? So now we are going to create one simple template. So most of the applications will have a component called header, body and footer, right? So what we can say, This is our app. Correct? So it contains header and also contains the footer, right? You can say header, footer, and you will have body, right? So now what I will do, I will create 3 components called header, footer, and body. How we are going to do it? So I will create a new folder called components. Under this I will create a new file header.js. Correct?
Yes.
So what is the first thing we have to do? Class header extends react.component, right? We have to import the React from React. Right? Next, we have to render some content. Right? What is the content that I am going to render? H1 header component. Okay, I want to export header, export default header. In the same way, I am going to create footer, right? Okay, now I am going to create a new component called body.js. Now inside of our app.js, instead of taking hello world, what I will do? Sorry, I will take header, right? I will take body. Next, I will take footer, right? So I'll close this. Okay, we have to import other 3 components. Import body from .component/body, right?
Yeah.
Import footer from .component/header. Sorry, footer. Now if you see our UI, your render method must have a return statement. Didn't I return? We have to return, right?
Yeah.
Now understood?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we are going to render the some object properties, right? So what I will do, I will create a new component called customer.js, right? Inside this, I will create one component called customer. Okay, Control F, Control H, customer, replace all. Okay. Now, for this customer component, what I will do, I will create one variable called company name, right? I can say Toyota. Right? Now, I created one constant called company name. How I can display this component? I want to display this company name. How we can do it? H1, my company. How I can display this name of the company? You forgot, huh? This is a variable, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Bracket.
the variables are
Putting bracket.
correct, curly brace notation.
Okay.
So my company name is, now I want to add this into my body, right? Yeah, here you are taking body, right? So what I will do, I will add here. You are trying to understand. Correct? So I will add customer. Understood, right? Yeah. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one object. Okay, what is that object? Name. Let customer obj is equal to, right, what this customer contains, name. Okay, name of the customer Raghavan, and also which contains okay date of birth, right? DOB, I can say 18/06/1987, right? Place, I can say place Hyderabad. Correct. Next, what are the cars that this customer bought from us, right?
Yes.
Are owned by him. Okay, I can write it in arrays, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what is this cars we have in Toyota? Okay, we can say Innova. What else we have? Innova Cresta, right? And also you will have ATUS, right? Some of the names. Okay, so these are the customer object we have. I want to display this customer details. How I can do it? I want to display the name of the customer. Name, right? How I can name? Okay.
Name.
Where we can get customer object, right?
Yeah, customer object name.
Correct. Next, I want to display the DOB, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next I want to display the place. Okay, now if we refresh our page, we are able to see the name, date of birth, and place. Why place is not coming? I have given the wrong name, wrong property name. Now you can see the values. Now I want to display the course, right? Okay, what I can do? I can display the course. Correct? Customer object dot course, correct?
Yes.
Now what we are getting? Innova, Innova Crista, and ATOs. Okay, now if you observe here, whatever the array that we are going to use to JSX to view in the UI, what it is doing? It is showing the array elements as it is, correct?
Yes.
So it is not adding any commas or something, just it is trying to display the array elements how you have inside of your array. Element 1, element 2, element 3, like that it is displaying. Correct? Now, what I will do, I want to display or specify this as a comma separated list. Correct? Understood?
Yes.
You remember join method?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I am trying to create one more object called add one more object called customer address, right? Okay, inside of this I will have what we can say plot number, correct? Some hash 50, and also I will have city. I can take HYD, and I can say colony, some SRH, some colony name. Okay, so now I want to display this address object. So what I will do, I will try to display this address object. We will see whether it will allow to display or not. Okay, so what we are getting? objects are not valid as React child. Okay, so what they are saying, if you want to or if you meant to render a collection of children, use an array instead. So here, so in JSX, we won't be able to render objects directly. Understood?
Yes.
We can, what we can do, we can render arrays directly, but objects we can't. Okay, I want to convert this object as a string. How I can do it? JSON dot
Mm-hmm.
understood?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So this is all about the class component. So now what you can do, you can try to create some examples by using the class component. Okay, so shall we go ahead with functional components
Yes.
now or tomorrow? Now is okay, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah, good. So now we saw how we are going to create the class-based components. Now we will see how we are going to create the functional-based components. Okay. A functional component is basically an ECMAScript 6 function or a JavaScript function which returns a React element, which is a normal ECMAScript 6 function which returns a React element. Correct? According to React official docs, so the function must start with a capital letter so that they will get to know that it is used for React component. Okay, we can create like function welcome, right? Welcome. So we can return an h1 hello world. See what we are doing. We are returning which one? JSX, right? JSX element. Okay, but I mentioned a ECMAScript 6 function which returns a React element. So is this correct? Even though we return JSX element, what it will do internally? Internally, every JSX element will convert to React elements, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So React JS component must start with the capital letter. Okay. Okay. And also we can use the arrow function also in order to create this component. Okay. How we can create arrow function?
Arrow. Return.
Yeah, if you have only one statement, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So prior to 16.8 version, okay, prior to 16.8 version, in functional component, we don't have support for state management and React lifecycle methods. Okay. So after 16.8 version, we have support for state management and React lifecycle methods in the form of React hooks. Okay, by using hooks, we can perform state management and lifecycle methods implementation we can do by using React hooks. Clear it? Any doubts?
Yeah. No.
Okay, now I am trying to create a functional component. Correct? How I can do? I will create a new folder called, sorry, not here, in SRC. Create a new folder, FC components. Correct? Inside of this, I want to create a new name, Hello World FC, right? Correct?
Yeah.
How we can create a component? Function,
Function name.
Hello World FC. We have to return some text, right? Okay, now if you want to use anywhere, export it, right? So in my app.js, in my body, I'm going to take Hello World FC. Okay, now if you see our page, you can see, right? Hello World functional components. Clear? Any doubts? No, right? So in the same way how I created these class-based components, right? Try to mock them by using functional components. Will you be able to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is all about the components creation. Okay, tomorrow we are going to cover about the props. Okay, what is the use of props? Like suppose if we want to send any information from one component to another, we can use props. Okay, this one tomorrow we are going to cover.
Okay.
Okay, so this is all about. So, okay, tomorrow we'll meet. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Bye.